it's Ronnie, and welcome to the Double Page Series 16 by Christy's Beautiful Life. And my layout isn't going to be a double page. This is the one created by Janet Fritz, and it is great. But when I was looking for photos, I didn't find 12, and I think that's what's on here. I think I counted them. But I thought, man, I could use the frames, the tickets, the um, tags. And instead of hearts, I thought, well, I'll use butterflies because there is a great big one on the frame that I'm going to use for the photo. And so it worked out pretty good. So that's the photo I'll be scrapping. And I'll be using 49 and Market in the Leaves, which is an older collection for fall. And quite a few dies. I'm pointing out the ones that I'll be using on these Bramble Fox ones. And yeah, I won't be using them all, but I will be using several. And this one here, I laid it aside and forgot about it. Or it would have made it on the layout because I was looking forward to it. But I did use the others. And I have some stickers, and there's some underneath my paper there. And when I go to move my paper, I'll realize it, so you'll see me pull out some more. And I forgot those wishing bubbles. I had a plan for them too. Here's the frame. Well, I haven't found the stuff underneath yet. Oh, there it is. And I was going to use that for my title, but I never could figure out what I wanted for the title, so I'm using a tag, well, a little framed saying on there instead. I am adding a little more mixed media. You know, Katie Petite is famous for her mixed media look on the 49 and Market, and it's kind of a monochromatic look, and I was wanting to add just a little bit more color. And when I took that orange out, I knew it was going to be kind of bright, and I thought, man, do I really want it that bright? So I did add rusty hinge to it, and it's carved pumpkin that I added the rusty hinge to. And the other color I used was fossilized amber. But they worked out, and I'm going to use the compass part of this, and I'm just going to put bits and pieces, fragments, as Katie Petite would call them, and I'm going to put some on each, well, 3 places on the layout just to have a little something with some more orange. I I've got 3 of these frames. I bought that collection there. It is not 49 Market, it's Simple Stories, but it was designed by Katie Petite. And I've got 3 of them because I bought the collection 3 times. Well, I bought it once, and then there was on sale at this place on online, and it was buy one get one free, and it was like a whole collection kit, not just the um, papers and the sticker sheet. So yeah, I went ahead and bought it. So I've got 3 sticker sheets and 3 of these frames. And I thought I really need to use one on a layout. And I cut my photo down, if you noticed, because Reagan's head was just the very, very top of it was cut off by the picture frame. So I cut a little off the bottom so they could go down a little farther and her head wouldn't go all the way to the top. And on this little frame, there is some faux stitching. Well, I decided to make mine look more real by adding some threads there. And since it's cross stitch, and I love cross stitch anyway, I went ahead and used the same thread I had out for the layout the other day. These 2 tags that I'm going to be putting on here, I had them for a very, very long time. They were in some Happy Mail a friend gave me, and I got this little, well, it's a stationary thing that you stick stuff down in for stationery. It's not real little, it's kind of on the big side. But I stuck a bunch of stuff in there for layers and had it right next to me and never did use it. So I moved it so it wouldn't be in my way. But I actually got into it for something else the other day, and I seen these and I thought, well, I could put them in this collection and use it. Well, they're super thin. They're paper copy thin. So I did glue them to some cardstock first because I was going to put the little tag reinforcer thing on there, the hole reinforcer, and I'm putting some twine in there, and I was afraid if I had it paper thin, the twine would really look bumpy underneath it. So it worked out a lot better with the cardstock behind it. And this is that Bramble Fox film strip. And I'm cutting it in half. And then I've got another one to use up there in the corner. Now, the paper I used to cut the frames out with was some I got a very long time ago, and it's about as heavy as 49 in the market. I probably had it 15 years. I would say 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. And I bought quite a few because I made me a mini album for autumn. We went to a farm and took the boys, and I made a mini album from it. Well, I got kind of carried away buying it because I wanted to make sure I had enough for the whole mini album, and so I still have quite a few. But I stuck it in here a while back, and it goes so well with this collection and the Simple Stories one too. And you all know how much I like green. Well, the back side is green, but I resisted and used the plaid. And I'm so glad it did. It turned out so very good on this. And there's my orange and white twine, and I'm just lacing it through both of the holes there. And I will have one more tag, but I won't be adding it for a little while. I'm going to try to put it up there on top with that film strip, but it's not going to make it there. But I tried as hard as I could. And yeah, I didn't want it not to go on the layout, so it will get nestled in there with the other stuff. And like I said, I wanted to use those stickers, Simple Story stickers for my title, but I couldn't make up my mind on the title. So I'm going to use uh, Autumn Adventures there with that little frame thing and have it instead. I like it really well, so it's going to be the title. And I put this dandelion right there, and I'm going to have to move the dandelion a little bit because I had at first thought, like it's kind of wet, swaying in the wind. And so it looks crooked there, and I decided I don't like it, so I will be moving it there. I am moving it now. And I was going to use the hearts on the layout there, but when I picked this frame and see how that great big butterfly is right there, well, I thought I could cut it off, but then my frame would not be complete, and I'd have to put something there anyway. And so I finally decided to just pull out two more butterflies and add to the layout and have them in place of the hearts. Here's where I laid that up there to the side after die cutting it out and inking it. I did ink everything. Well, I think I missed a couple of things, and I will ink them before they go on the layout, but I think I inked everything else in the rusty hinge. And I inked that and set it up there, and I was going to cut it in half or tear it or whatever, but it just don't even make it on there because I forgot. I have spiced up there on that banner looking thing. And here's that tag that I wanted to add so much up there. And maybe if I just left the bottom part off, I wouldn't had to worry about it, and it could have fit that little piece there. But yeah, I added the bottom part on, and it just did not work, no matter how hard I tried. And because I wanted all three of those things on there, and so yeah, it didn't work. But it is going on the layout. But isn't it the cutest little tag topper? There's several in that die set, but this is the one I wanted to use on this layout. And the paper I used is actually for the die cuts there with the black and the white and the rusty hinge. There, that paper was a scrap from Countryside. So while I'm fiddling with that, I wanted to make sure that I mentioned to y'all that down there below will be the link for the playlist that Christy created for the whole month. And so there'll be lots and lots of inspiration down there. And um, there will also be the Facebook group, and I believe some Instagram if I get it all on there. Uh, I messed up one day and forgot to put anything when I but when I went to reply to some uh, comments that was on there, mine went blank. I thought messages, posts. But yeah, it's comments. When I went to reply to them, I noticed I didn't put anything, so I fixed it. So hopefully I'll do it right the first time this time. And the picture there of are my granddaughters many years ago. Well, they may not like the word many. They are still teenagers, but Reagan was always really good at grabbing Charlie and giving her hugs. And Charlie would just giggle, and so you could tell from the look on her face that she is giggling. But yeah, I did one not too long ago for one of the girls' albums, and instead of having the exact same picture in the other girl's album, I thought I'd do it differently this time. These are both taken at the same time, and I thought, well, I'll just do a different one for this layout. Um, let's see, where are we at on here? Oh, I'm adding those leaves, and those leaves, I forgot to show the dies for them. Um, Debbie gave them to me. They're spellbinders, and I made these leaves when I was pulling stuff out and doing things for my last layout. And then when I went to put them with the other stuff, I decided I didn't like them with them. It just didn't seem to go. But I thought they went pretty good with this one, so I went ahead and used them. I It was a pattern paper, but it was like a blackish gray and a cream color, and then I just used ink on them and splattered ink, and also used the sponge and sponged some ink on there. So, and then die cut them out and then inked them some more. Since I knew I was going to be using tags and frames and tickets to go along with the inspiration layout, I knew I'd be doing quite a bit of layering, so I had a whole lot of fun layering all this stuff on top of each other. So many different textures and shapes and colors, even. And yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. Oh, this is another one of those Bramble Fox dies that came in the same die set, and it says photo, and I think one of them says super, and they're more like just a tuck or place thing instead of a tag topper, but there are tag toppers in there too. And I was so busy playing and having a good time doing this, I forgot to watch my camera. So, in just a few minutes, well, maybe a minute, it might be a minute, uh, my camera will go off, but I did a transition there so it wouldn't look so jerky. If I'm doing one thing and then all of a sudden I'm doing something else, I like to put a transition in there because I mean, it just like jumps from one thing to the next and it looks really funny. So the transition makes it look like it's on purpose, and it is totally not. Well, truth be told, there are times I use it, and I'm going to use it in just a second. When I like stop to do something and forget to turn the camera back on, and so that's what this one is. Yeah, I just forgot to turn the camera back on, so I just the transitions work so much better, and I enjoy watching them myself. Um, it's like video magic. Uh, oh, I was thought I that's why I added that in there. I remember now. Um, the I got to looking at it. I thought I was done, and I got to looking at it and decided I wanted more of a diagonal because if you look at the sketch, it has a diagonal from the top right hand corner back down to the bottom left. And so I didn't plan on it at first, but when I got ready to take the pictures, I thought I did need it. And so I'm adding just a little bit more down in the bottom left hand corner. And there is a little tag there, Pete, what you call it, text fragment down there. And I'm adding it, and it says living the good life. But yeah, I just made my diagonal longer and came across from one corner to the other. And when I did that, I got to thinking I'd like to have some branches to go with my twigs. I think it's twigs and branches. I think that's what that uh, Spiegel Mom Scraps sequence is. But yeah, it's really pretty sequins. And I scattered them around the page. And when I did add the branches, I did think I needed a few more leaves, a couple at least. So yeah, I'm adding a little bit more orange and color to go with my leaf so it's just not hanging there by itself. But yeah, I think I'm about done with this. Yeah, see, look, I am done with this. And I had a whole lot of fun creating it and using Janet's sketch up there as inspiration. And I know she does it too, so yeah, you can either use inspiration from the layout, the sketch, or you can just follow it to a T. And I have before, but yeah, today it's inspiration. And there's the living the good life. And see, aren't those little leaves cute? But they just didn't go with my layout the other day. I ended up going with green instead. And there's my title, and I added love this to it. And that one I did not have inked ahead of time, so yeah, I inked it. But I think that might have been the only thing I had to go ahead and ink actually. And isn't that the cutest little fragment thing there with the photo? I liked it pretty good. And so I used the same color I used on the reinforcers, the whole reinforcers there. And there's my top cluster up there. And spiced up is the um, little banner thing. And yeah, I had lots of fun doing it. But be sure to check out the master link down there below and check out everybody's videos and see what all they did with today's sketch. Thank you all so very, very much for joining me today while I created my layout. And have a happy scrappy week. Bye.